David Menzies for Rebel News here on the lawns of University of Toronto, a.k.a. Little Gaza. Well, you know what, folks? The University of Toronto is world-renowned for its medical department. And we got to give them kudos because it looks like U of T's president, that would be Meric Gertler, well, he has finally been reunited with his spine. Here's the deal. Yesterday, President Gertler, a.k.a. the Invisible Man during the 3 weeks of this encampment, finally issued a statement that enough is enough, that the Hitler Youth Movement and the Hamas hobos are no longer going to be tolerated. And what he meant by that is that if they do not vacate the encampment, notices of trespass will be issued. They have 24 hours to think it over. We're at the 23-hour mark right now, and as we understand it, those trespass notices have not been issued. And what's more, President Gertler, he said the university is not bending the knee in terms of the demands of the hobos for Hamas here. Quote, the university will not terminate any partnerships with Israeli universities or attempt to curtail scholars' academic freedom in any way. The university rejects calls for cutting ties with international partner institutions or engaging in academic boycotts because these actions would be at odds with our commitment to academic freedom, the unfettered global circulation of people and ideas, and advancing understanding by fostering collaboration and dialogue, end quote. Now, predictably, President Gertler's statement and his ultimatum to Vamoose is not going over well with the unhappy campers here at Little Gaza. For example, U of T student Sate Simsek stated the following online, quote, this encampment will stay. If one is destroyed, another will arise. As a U of T student, I am willing and ready to be arrested. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, you're willing to be arrested? Hey, I got news for you. Just doing citizen journalism on the streets of Toronto is enough to get you arrested these days by the Toronto Police Service. And yeah, I speak from bitter experience. Now, once those trespass notices are issued, then it is up to the University of Toronto at some point to pick up the phone, dial 911 and call in law enforcement. The question is when. That remains an unanswered question. Are they going to give them another couple of days, another couple of weeks? Who knows? They're going to have to act fast, though, because on June 3rd, convocation ceremonies begin. They're going to need, I would say, about a week to get the lawn in order. So we will have to see, once the trespass notices are issued, what the next move will be for the university. Now, the other question that arises, folks, is how far are the unhappy campers here at Little Gaza willing to go in terms of making a last stand? And by the way, I should note, Little Gaza was the first name for this encampment. If you can believe it, it was rebranded 3 times in less than 2 weeks. It went from Little Gaza to the People's Circle for Palestine and the Palestine Martyrs Square. The thing about Palestine Martyrs Square, well, for starters, this is actually a circle. They're occupying King's College Circle. Secondly, they spelt martyrs apostrophe S as opposed to S apostrophe, which would indicate they're speaking of one martyr and not a collection of martyrs.
It's not grammatically correct, but I think you have the idea.
But the thing is, do the kids here even know the definition of martyr, i.e. a person who is willing to die for his or her beliefs? Well, let's go and ask them. We'll try to get into the encampment, but I'm sure the illegal squatters for the upteenth time won't let us in. But maybe there are some of the Hamas hobos on the outside of the encampment that will weigh in. Let's go check out what they have to say. Hi, sir. Are they not letting you in the encampment?
No, they're not letting me. They won't answer my question, which is, how do they feel about what Hamas has said and done? This lady here says she wants to see a peaceful solution, which I presume means that she would like to see something other than what Hamas and Netanyahu are doing.
Okay, then. Hey, guys, how are you? It's okay to get into the camp before it's dismantled? What was that, sir? I couldn't hear you with your face.
I just feel like you touched me up a bit, so I'm just asking you to keep a
Oh,
step.
I'm sorry, but you're kind of blocking my way into King's College Circle. Or is it Little Gaza? No. What are you guys how far are you guys willing to go in terms of making a stance against law enforcement when they're inevitably called in? Isn't one of the names for this place Palestine Martyrs Circle or Palestine Martyrs Square? Are you willing to become a martyr? How about yourself, sir? No. Do you know what a martyr is? No. All right then. So, can I come in? No. All right, I'll take that as a yes. I'm just going to squeeze by. Excuse me, I'm just trying to get in. No. Oh, you're closing the gate? Well, that's pretty rude, isn't it? I mean, I'm just trying to walk onto university property, and these people who are illegally squatting here are not only breaking the Trespass Act, but they're acting as though they are the landlords. It is absolutely astonishing. I mean, the chutzpah is off the scale. Do you have to make like a donation, or do you have to give food or something like that? Is that the key, ladies? Can I call you ladies? I'm not misgendering you or anything like that. You know, folks, since we're never allowed into this Palestine Martyrs Circle or whatever they call it these days, we do a walk around the perimeter of the fence. And by the way, why is the fence here? The fence was meant to prevent this kind of encampment. It failed, so I don't know why it's still up. It's actually helping the trespassers, not hindering them. And some of the signs are absolutely fascinating. I don't think anything beats Queers for Palestine, a.k.a. Chickens for Colonel Saunders. But I'm wondering, are they reaching out to elementary schools maybe? Because I came across this illustration, and it's Luigi supports Palestine. That would be Luigi from Luigi and Mario, the video game. So I guess it's kind of fitting. Fictional characters would be standing up for a fictional country. I wonder what the position is of the Romulans and the Klingons, and even the Cardassians, for that matter. So, sir, I notice there's a deadline here, Monday, May 27th at 8 a.m. Is that a hard deadline? Will police be called in to evacuate the encampment?
Philippe here from Media Relations. You can direct questions to me.
Pardon me?
Philippe from Media Relations. You can direct questions to me.
Oh, okay then. What's your name, sir?
Philippe DeVos.
Philippe? Okay then. Well, Philippe, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I notice these trespass notices have gone out, and there's a deadline of Monday, May 27th at 8 a.m. It says the university will pursue consequences under university policies and the law. Philippe, what exactly does that mean?
Have you read the full notice?
Well, that part there, I know there's a Trespass the Property Act here, and that potentially that means calling in law enforcement. Is that correct?
No, obviously we posted on our website here. You can have a look.
Okay.
University will be taking all necessary legal steps, seeking an order from the Ontario Superior Court of Justice.
Okay, so does that actually mean then, come 8 a.m. on Monday, that law enforcement, i.e. Toronto Police Service, will come in and clear the encampment and press charges?
Do you want to read it yourself?
Okay, then. Well, you just read it, but...
Yeah, so I read it.
Okay, then. But I'm just in case there's a nuance, Philippe, I'm missing.
From the Ontario Superior Court of Justice.
Okay, then. All right. And again, does that mean the police will be on campus come Monday the 27th?
It's all on the website.
It's a very simple question, sir.
If you read it, then you can ask all your questions to media.relations@utoronto.ca.
Okay.
You're familiar with our website. We answer your questions when we have answers for you.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Take care.
I ain't reading all that Free Palestine. Don't you need an apostrophe between the N and the T and ain't? These are university students, by the way, folks, and basic grammar. I guess it comes to Little Gaza to die. What do you make of the administration this last 3 weeks basically turning a blind eye to this encampment, especially since we see all kinds of signage espousing genocide, such as From the River to the Sea and Intifada. What is your take on that?
My take is that this isn't doing any good. It's not supporting anyone. This should be cleared because all it's doing is causing interference. That's all.
Well, folks, just when we thought this was going to be a big nothing burger today, literally at the 11th hour, the trespass notices were served exactly 24 hours after the warning came from the University of Toronto president. And it is basically giving notice that they are prohibited from entering King's College Circle, installing or maintaining unauthorized tents, occupying or gathering or remaining at University of Toronto property between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. and on it goes. But here's the important part. Quote, if you do not comply and remain in the encampment at King's College Circle and Front Campus after Monday, I think they mean May 27th, 2024, at 8 a.m., the university will pursue consequences under university policies and the law, end quote. So I guess it's a waiting game. We're going to have to come back here at Monday at 8 a.m. and see what indeed this means. Does this mean that the university is going to call in the Toronto Police Service and charge the illegal squatters with trespass, or do they have some other solution afoot? You can bet we'll be here on Monday morning to see what goes down. In the meantime, signing off from Little Gaza, or whatever it's called these days, I'm David Menzoid Menzies. Well, folks, finally something tangible, it would seem, is being done. The trespass notices have been issued. We'll just have to see if, there's some bite behind this bark come Monday morning. In the meantime, are you getting a little sick and tired of seeing genocide openly called for on the streets of our great dominion? If so, please go to deporthamas.com. That's deporthamas.com. The fact is that there are people chanting that genocide that aren't even Canadian citizens. They're here on visas. They are international students. Enough is enough. If that's the way you're going to behave in our country, time to pack your bags and go.